Aloha, Bernard Lyles from Chicago, Illinois. How are you today?
I'm doing great, man. Trying to beat the heat. I don't have to come to Hawaii for no heat.
Wait, what now? What's the temperature in Chicago today?
We're running 90s.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, and it's going to be 90 for the next 7-day forecast at least. Yeah.
Oh man, that's one thing I don't miss is that, to be honest, the heat and humidity in Chicago, and I went to school in Minnesota, nothing compared to here.
Okay, so I don't have to come to Hawaii, so I'm good.
You're in Hawaii.
Right.
Virtually.
Mm-hmm.
So I met you, God, how many years ago? 5, 6 years ago?
I thought we met when I came to did Ironman down there in 98.
Yeah, that was 98 then. Yeah, seems like yesterday.
Yeah, that was 21 years ago now, Joe.
Oh. Well, that means you were like 14 when you did it, right?
Yeah, I was 12.
And then not only doing the race, you then came back to help out at the race and stuff. And because you're from Chicago, where I grew up, we've always had that connection. And right. I thought this would be a good time. Black Lives Matter, dude. This is nothing. Man. This is nothing that needs to be sugar-coated or covered up or talking in terms of what do they call them? Dog whistle terms. Where you say one thing and mean another. No, it's just
right.
It's bothered me for a lot of years and stuff. But we'll get into that. Where were you? Where'd you go to elementary school? You were born and raised in Chicago. Where'd you go to elementary school?
I lived on the west side, so I went to Victor F. Lawson Elementary School, and then there's another one, Lathrop School. I don't know what Lathrop was named after, but it was built right after I went there. I was in 5th and 6th grade. So it was a brand new school. I got a chance to transfer from Lawson over to Lathrop. And
I was St. Mark's Catholic Elementary School.
Okay.
I think they're still in business.
A lot of those schools are gone, man. Yeah,
well, let's talk high school. My high school no longer exists. Gordon Tech High School.
Right, it's not here anymore. I went to Farragut.
Where?
Farragut.
Farragut. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Farragut over on 23rd and Christiana.
Yeah.
So did that, and then went to city colleges. I went to Kennedy King College where I studied automotives, and I learned that and got an associate degree in that, and went on a little further in the city college system, learned some more automotives, learned how to paint cars, and then they gave me a job.
Oh, the school did?
Yeah, my instructor, in fact, I went and got certified in automotive, and he was at the table. He had a job already, but when I went to do the ASE certification, he was there. So we sat side by side taking the ASE test. Yeah.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
So he made sure I got the job to assist him when the other guy left.
Yeah, smart guy. Smart guy.
Mm-hmm. So worked for city colleges, and then went to Chicago State is where I ended up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, let's see. What Chicago State used to be called?
Chicago Teachers College.
Chicago Teachers College and stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went Gordon Tech, graduated Gordon Tech, and then like an idiot, I got into Loyola University, which that didn't last very long because that was definitely out of my price range. Plus, I still remember calculus class at like 6:30 a.m. in the morning. It was just like,
wasn't ready for that brain freeze.
I have never been that smart. It was nice being at a big school though, because I'd always kind of been in small schools, and my neighborhood's growing up like on Mozart Street and stuff. Small. It was basically, let's see, Puerto Rican, Polish, and Italian.
Right.
And what was your neighborhood?
You were in Humboldt Park.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yep. In Humboldt Park area. I grew up in Lawndale, and then Lawndale, and then we moved to Inglewood.
Oh really?
Oh
Wow.
yeah. That's where my younger brothers and sisters, they all grew up and went to Inglewood High School and stuff like that. And
Did you play sports in high school?
no, man, I barely made it through high school because at Farragut, man, those gangs were up there.
True.
You have to get into the building on time because the gangs, they, you know, they were the vice lords. They was there right after, 9 o'clock. They was hanging out on the outside of the school and they were recruiting and, so you had to get up in there. And when it's time to go, you gotta get out the side door or something.
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about the vice lords and stuff.
Yeah, it was rough, man.
Oh well, Farragut, Carver, high school.
Harrison,
yeah.
Marshall. My older brothers went to Marshall.
Marshall, yeah.
Yeah, they were famous for basketball and all that good stuff.
And to be honest, now that we're talking about it, I still remember DuSable High School.
Yeah, DuSable is still there.
I remember the cheer because when we would play them every once in a while, even though we were Catholic, it was like, "Hey, DuSable."
Yeah, that sounded like a taunt to me.
No, that was them cheering.
Oh, okay.
That was their cheers. I still remember their cheers and stuff. We actually, Gordon Tech played Carver in the Catholic League, played the Public League one year. And Cassie Russell was on Carver's team then.
Okay.
That shows you how old I am.
Yeah. We want to talk age today.
But yeah, in my neighborhood, we had, local like Russian gangs and stuff like that. But, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff going on as far as, I could walk to school and everything. And, I didn't have, when I got out of school, it was just walk to school or ride my bike. Were you riding bikes back then when you were growing up?
No. If we did, we didn't ride them to school. Yeah, if you had a bike, you were lucky to get a bike. I got my first bike. I worked with my auntie, and she would pay me, $5, $7 a week or something like that. They empty garbage, paint around the house and stuff. And I took her up to Sears one day because I saw these bikes at Sears, man. I wanted one so bad. And she wouldn't get it for me then, but she made me save my money that she paid me. And eventually we went up there to get that bike. And it was a racer. So all the other boys had the bikes with the monkey handlebars and all that stuff. I had a racer, and Joe, I run them all the time. They had to put speed on there. But you also had to protect your bike, man, because somebody else liked the bike more than you do. It was on we lived on the first floor, so it was on the little balcony. I came out one morning, it was gone.
Yeah. Oh, I had a Schwinn, and I think it was rare because it was like a middleweight, but we got it at Sears. And same thing with me. It got stolen. I still remember like a year afterwards seeing a kid on my bike, because it was a green, which was unusual, riding on the street. And it was like, that growing up in the big city.
Yeah. Somebody liked their bike better than you do.
And let's see, I had a newspaper route. So you helped your family and stuff when you were growing up and stuff to make money?
Yeah, I had a paper route too. I had a paper route. We used to, Chicago Daily News.
That's the same one I delivered.
Yeah, in the afternoon.
Yeah.
My brothers, did the Sun Times in the morning. They did the Sun Times. And you might have the Defender, the black newspaper. You might have that one. So they did that in the morning, and we did the Daily News in the afternoon.
And I remember the Daily News. Yep, I did same paper. They're no longer in business.
No, they went early. They went early.
But I remember rolling up, had one of them bags in front of my bike, and rolled up the newspapers, put them in, and then go on the bike and toss the paper.
You know what we had, Joe? We had those baby buggies.
Okay.
They had the cover over there in case to keep the baby from getting wet. The guy that owned the paper stand had about 20 of those things. And everybody had one. Hit those routes with those papers, those buggies in. I mean, the buggy with all the papers in there. And that's what he did it.
That's a way. That's one way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, he did it. And the guy, you know, if you didn't deliver right or something went wrong, he wouldn't pay you that week.
Oh, if you got a complaint,
yeah, he wouldn't pay.
Where's my paper? How come my paper ain't here?
Right. So.
Oh, I miss newsstands too. You know, now that you know that you brought it up and stuff, I remember newsstands. There used to be a newsstand, a news store, a little store across the street from where my dentist was. And it was the first place I tried to buy cigarettes. I thought I'd be cool. And I'd buy cigarettes. And I walked in there and I bought like 3 other things. And then, of course, said, "Can I have a pack of Cools, please?" And the guy never blinked, got everything bagged up, took my money, and he said, "Come back in about 10 years and I'll sell you cigarettes."
So you didn't get the Cools that day?
No, heck no.
You shouldn't have said please.
Yeah, I thought it'd be cool to get Cools, you know.
Right. Yeah.
How many brothers, sisters did you have? Do you have?
Okay, I have 10 brothers and 4 sisters.
Oh, big family. Same parents?
Yeah, same parents, all of them. Daddy owns up to all of them.
God love your mom, I tell you.
Yeah, we should have a new little brother every year, Joe. That's about every year. We get lucky one year, we get a sister.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, then one year, mom said, you know, after another series of boys, the doctor said, "Oh, Ms. Lyles, this is a girl." Then he said, "Hold on, oh, wait a minute, something else in there, and a boy."
Twins?
Yeah. You get a boy to go.
Bargain, yep.
Yeah, so one set of twins, but
so
yeah.
where do you fall in the age line there? Are you oldest? I guess
I'm the 4th oldest.
Oh, okay.
So it was 3, and then my mother's 2 was supposed to have been tied.
Yeah.
Yeah, until 5 years, I broke them loose or something.
Couldn't keep you out.
Right.
From coming out.
So yeah, my brother over me was like almost 5 years. He's a baby for 5 years before I came along.
Oh wow!
You know, I took a lot of punishment, Joe.
Oh yeah. Well, I had one sister. Is all I had. She's 4 years older, so I took a lot of punishment from her too.
Okay, yes.
Couldn't get away with nothing.
That's right.
So what, were you guys in a house, an apartment? Because we were in a 2-bedroom apartment when I was growing up.
We were always in apartments, Joe. And then, you know, there was so many of us, man, it'd be 4 of us in a bed. 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom.
You know what bunk beds are then. Yeah, that's what I was raised in.
Oh, yeah. And then the girls, you know, girls had a room. So the boys are, you know, between 2 bedrooms, all the boys.
Did you guys do the cooking? Because I ended up doing the cooking a lot of times.
Yeah, Mom trained us how to cook because, man, she had a job on her hands every day. She was cooking and washing clothes and ironing and getting us ready. So she trained us too. So I'm pretty decent cook. I can get things done without burning up and everything.
Yeah, because my mom she worked for General Electric in the billing department, and Dad was a butter and egg salesman. He was a truck driver. And they were gone, you know, and it was like, first one who gets home, okay, you better know how to start dinner.
Okay. Yeah, I wish I could do that now.
Oh, yeah. That microwave, right?
Yeah, or McDonald's or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too. So growing up, did you eat a lot of, remember White Castle?
Yeah, that probably was the only one because, you know, when we were growing up, we were poor, Joe, so we would, you know, eat at home, or when they built a Burger King over on Kedzie and that's 27th and Kedzie. They built a Burger King over there. And man, that was a treat. We had got a chance to go to Burger King one time. I'll
Yeah,
never forget that.
for us, it
And,
was there was a White Castle at Chicago and Grand, I think.
could have been.
Yeah.
But I know
Did you?
there's on North Avenue up there.
Yeah.
North Avenue and Cicero, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few of them. So, but yeah, again, we
Where'd
went
you
with our
hang?
parents one time to a White Castle, and I don't know exactly where it was at, but
Where,
hamburger was like
where,
5 minutes.
what beaches did you hang out at?
When I got a chance to go to, we went to 12th Street Beach, right behind the museum of science and the Field Museum,
Yeah.
Adler Planetarium. We went to 12th Street Beach back there. But when I got to be a teenager and I have transportation, like I have a motorcycle, we used to go to Rainbow Beach up on 77 and Lakeshore Drive. We used to go over there and hang out. And, you know, as teenagers, we go hang out with the hippie groups and all that stuff, man. They had everything. all the party stuff.
I can still remember growing up. I used to go on it was Grand Avenue, and there was a Mexican community over there, and I could always get not cigarettes, but other things to smoke.
Okay.
By hanging out there in the neighborhood. Yeah, I was like,
right. I feel you.
Oh, and we used to take, I still remember taking Grand Avenue bus down to the lake shore, and we would walk from Grand Avenue Beach to Oak Street Beach. Is Oak Street Beach still there?
Oh yeah. It's big, yeah. That's the place to be. And in fact, right now, Oak Street Beach is being flooded. The water level is real high. The lake is covering up the bike path in most spots, and they have a beach. They have concessions and food shops down there on Oak Street Beach, but now they're flooded.
Well, they had nothing down there except beach back. Wow, that was let's see, that was only 50 years ago.
Yeah, they have everything: bike rentals and food concessions, and they have everything. So, but now that it's flooded, all that is on hold right now. In fact, the lakefront just opened back up. The mayor had it closed down because of COVID, and it just opened up last week. So,
yeah, I saw. I've been seeing your posts and stuff of you out there and everything. So, was everything totally shut down for a while?
Well, they had when it's supposed to be the peak of everything. Yeah, everybody was kind of locked down. The mayor's, stay in the house, stay locked down. The governor was on TV every day, and it was real serious. So I took it serious. I get out, but early in the morning, I was out 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, get mine and get back before people get out, and I'm at home, and I lock down for the rest of the day. But for the April and May, June, yeah, it was pretty tight. Closed down pretty tight.
And everybody was kind of behaving and stuff.
Somewhat, yeah. They were holding on, but again, people gotta eat. So they're in the stores, and it got to be where you got to have your mask, and they started letting seniors in at 6 o'clock. So the seniors, because they had a hard time getting things to eat, stuff like that. So you gotta get your food and get back in and lock down.
Yeah, it was real similar here. I mean, they some of the stores started opening up for people like me. From the first hour of their opening hours were for seniors and stuff. And because we're so spread out, the Big Island's pretty big, as far as in relation to how many people, there was never any crowds anywhere. To be honest, most people back then really weren't wearing masks unless you went to a store or unless you were, most of us, we just didn't go out. I mean, we stuck around and just kind of behaved, but. So
it's not really bad on the island. So.
We're one of the best spots right now, I guess, where there's only been a few cases of people that have passed away. There's been less than 1,000 people that have been detected.
Okay.
our crunch time's coming up. August 1st is when they're going to start opening it up to mainland people coming.
Oh, okay.
Now, in fact, we couldn't even fly inter-island.
No? Oh, okay. Keep that stuff to yourself, huh? Come over here with it.
Yeah.
That's good, though. I was going to ask that next. Can I come over there yet?
Yeah, you can. Well, they still have, right now, they still have the 14-day quarantine. So if you come here, you got to be quarantined for 14 days. And then in August, what they're going to do is you have to be pre-tested, test negative for COVID, and then come here. And then I think there's like a 5-day be tested again within 5 days of when you're here and stuff. But
wow.
Yeah, I mean, they're being tight. They've gotten, the government here has gotten a lot of criticism because, you know, our business has gone, you know, we're a tourist-based economy, and there's no tourists.
Right. And then if you get some, then they got to go through all that to be there.
And then because you're in a big city and stuff, you know, there's a lot of still service workers, you know, people that are working at McDonald's, people that are working at gas stations, people that are working and stuff. We don't have a lot of that here. And in fact, the one minor breakout that we had of cases was at the McDonald's down by Target down in Kona there, where it was a family.
I know where that's at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But, you know, as far as in Chicago, so did you notice when I mean, you've been getting out and stuff, did you notice that there was less cars, or did you notice that there was less cars and more people?
Oh, yeah. The highway is wide open, Joe. Yeah, because once the mayor and the governor had put the lockdown in place, you know, a lot of people, you know, they're working from home, they don't, you know, or lost their job or whatever the case is. There's no traffic at rush hour. So if you want to go somewhere, highway is wide open. I remember going out to see my sister out in Plainfield. You know, Plainfield, that's a good ride out of I-55. It was wide open. You can go fast as you want to, and some people were going fast. Yeah, I'm doing, you know, I'm doing 75, 80. They come past me like, hey, what you, slow poke, get out of the way.
Yeah, I did kind of notice
people a record time.
People on Queen K were going a little bit. They were actually going slower because they're more noticeable. They were afraid to get pulled over.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but yeah. In fact, on that same trip, I was coming back, and again, coming back was wide open. But when I got almost downtown, Joe, almost to the lakefront, it was really wide open. It was like, wow, this is better than a holiday. You know, some holidays it's just clear. This is even clear. It looked like you're in some other town or some other state or something. I'm like, wow, I thought I was doing something wrong.
Yeah, really, yeah. I made the wrong turn. Wait a minute.
Yeah, good thing I wasn't buzzed. I was like, where am I at?
How much is gas there now?
I go to Indiana. I haven't bought gas in the city in years. I'm close enough I can go across the line. And it's averaging like $2.12 for regular right now. It went up. But it had been down to $1 and $1.67 or something like that. A couple of months ago, it was like $1.67. Yeah, because you know, no gas, they ain't selling gas. Nobody's buying. Nobody going nowhere. So it was competition, I guess, between them, and they were see who can go the lowest.
I mean, they're actually charging us what it should be charged.
Right. Yeah.
It was kind of the same way on the Big Island here. You know, you said you drive to Indiana. I drive to Kona because at Costco the gas is $2.59, $2.69.
Okay.
Up here in Waimea, $3.99, and it has not dropped a penny.
Woo! I don't want none of that gas.
But, yeah, and it's like, is transportation cost that much to get the gas taken down into Kona, you know, or here? Yeah,
Right.
it's been nuts and stuff. And because of my tenuous financial situation, there was a period there where literally all I could afford to do was drive to Kona and get gas.
Wow.
That's about it. You know, my work has just gone, you know, I do computer consulting and I do fix people's computers and stuff. And I thought that would get better because, you know, people are staying home doing a lot of remote stuff. It hasn't really gotten better because computers are cheap enough. People are just buying new computers now.
Yeah. Instead of waiting on somebody to fix your computer, it's still broke.
Yeah. And then my bike education stuff, where I teach the kids how to ride bikes, and we do bike safety. And I'm a race director for 2 races here. That just all went away.
Speaking of races, Ironman is gone for this year, right?
Yeah, they rescheduled it for. Well, here's the scenario: they kept it for a while in October, and they were hanging on to it. But then when Honu came, which was supposed to be in June, first week in June, they couldn't do that. So they moved Honu to right now it's scheduled for Thanksgiving week in November.
Okay.
And they moved Ironman to the first second weekend in February, which is the same weekend as Super Bowl, if there's a Super Bowl.
Wow.
And it's actually the original, when they moved Ironman from Oahu to the Big Island here, they actually did have 2 races that year, the year that they moved. I think it was 83, I want to say. And there was, the first one was in February. And then the second one, it was in October. So they had 2 races that year. So right now it's tentatively scheduled for February. But we'll see. Chicago Marathon, has it been canceled?
Not officially, but I talked with the race director 3 weeks ago. We, personal friends, and he almost, but they didn't put the word out there like that. They sent an email out, wishy-washy around the, but since then, Boston put out a virtual marathon, so I think they're gonna do the same thing, give you an opportunity to do virtual, and because I guess trying to refund all that money. And people don't want to be promised a spot for next time, because it might not be a next time, and all that. So they got to try to sort that out and balance out.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's unfortunately been driving a lot of races. They want to keep your money, essentially.
Yeah, they've invested that money too.
It's like they would rather you do a virtual race. I did a couple of virtual races. There's one here on the Big Island where you can run around the Big Island. It's 220 miles, and I'm about finished with that one. And then the other one is there's a race going across Tennessee. The guy who did the Barkley marathons and stuff, he did, and they're all benefits for like food banks and stuff like that. So it's not just people. It's a business and people want to make money, but it's not just hey, we're just doing this to get money kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the shopping situation in Chicago? Was there still plenty of groceries and stuff? Has there been a big run on toilet paper?
At first, toilet paper and paper towel, they went first. And the looting and the all that stuff took care of everything else.
Clean the shelves, yeah.
Yeah. But all that stuff went first, and then food is got where people trying to stock up, so you had your stores that were running out of things, and again, I'm in Indiana. I go to Indiana. There's no food tax and nothing. I'm early morning person. I'm in Indiana, get mine, and I'm out. And they were good. I didn't have any problems, but it was I felt bad for the people that are in our community local. Especially the seniors, because seniors, they had a hard time and they couldn't get in those lines, and when they get there, it's all gone. So when they did make it where seniors can come in early, man, I felt a little better. That was good. But once again, when the looting and all that disturbance came down, they tore up all the stores in the community, and they burned some of them up. So
where was that happening and stuff? Because the news that I've seen is either out of like New York, LA, places like that. But I really didn't watch a whole lot of news coming out of Chicago. What neighborhoods were people?
It was pretty much all over. They even did downtown for a little bit. They got some down on the Gold Coast, but the mayor and the police, they locked that down real tight, real quick. And then a couple of weeks after George Floyd, when all the protests started happening, oh man, it got dangerous in all the Black community, West Side, South Side. They looted, they burned, they tore up everything. But still, some merchants, they were out there protecting their stuff with guns.
Oh.
Yeah. And then there was some Black-owned businesses, they were there and they were like, this is Black-owned business, don't do that. And they managed to get back. But the first thing they took was like the T-Mobile stores, all the phone stores, electronics, all that stuff that went first. They were into all those. Then they started with the food stores. They took a real beating. And then what was really bad was some of the CVS and Walgreens.
Drugs.
Yeah, drugs. So, now that when all that happened, the seniors, again, I feel bad. The seniors can't get their medication. So it's kind of embarrassing to know that all that happened right here in the community where I'm at.
Oh, did you ever feel did you feel in danger, and stuff?
I stay in the house. I watch it on TV. No, I don't feel that. Only if my car stops. I'm out early. But just from growing up in the neighborhood, you know how to maneuver and how which places to go and which not to be, and at certain times of the day and certain times of the evening, certain things happen.
Yeah.
You don't want to be involved in that. Stay in the house. Yeah. So I'm following the mayor's advice. I'm in the house on lockdown.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I was thinking about it since I haven't been back to a big city. I've been through big cities like LA and San Francisco and Houston and stuff. I guess I've lost a lot of my street sense because I still remember growing up, like you said, you knew which neighborhoods to go into. And it didn't, to be honest, it didn't matter if it was black or white. It was that neighborhood was just known to get beat up in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I imagine the neighborhoods you didn't want to go into were the neighborhoods I was living in.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. And then, now, back when we were growing up, they used to, they beat you up. Now, you get shot quick, man. So many shootings going on, Joe, it's terrible. Just like last week, 2 weeks ago, 101 shootings.
What?
And I think it was 18 people fatal. 18 fatal. It was like 101 shootings, 18 fatal. Last week, it was a little lower on the shootings, but the fatality was up 8 to 18. So every weekend on Monday morning, that's the first thing on the news, see how bad it was over the weekend in Chicago. And right now, the mayor and the police, they're trying to get everything in place, more officers and stuff for the July 4th holiday, which is always the most deadliest holiday.
Yeah, I forget that's this weekend. Yeah, the first day of July now. Yeah.
So I got a plan to, I got a friend that lives over close by the lake. I'm gonna hang out and stay with her.
Yeah, good plan. Yeah, good plan. Yeah, I remember growing up, there were certain neighborhoods I didn't go into. I would go, to be honest though, I would go into neighborhoods just because I guess who I am, that people would say don't go into, but because like I take the bus from Austin Avenue to Madison Avenue down to Chicago Stadium because Loyola played in Chicago Stadium if I wanted to go see something. And I'd be the only white guy on the bus. And almost inevitably, there would be some person, somebody would come up to me, sit next to me and go, and ask me, son, do you know, what are you doing here? I said, well, I'm going to watch a basketball game, you know, Viola plays. Okay, okay, don't worry. Don't worry. We'll take care of you. Don't worry.
Right. You evidently don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, this guy is too dumb. He doesn't know he shouldn't be here. Don't worry.
Right. But man, yeah, I you know, I stepped out of my boundaries a couple of times, and you know, one time again back to the gang stuff in our own community. I lived on Douglas and Millard, Douglas and Central Park. It's 3600 West, and Douglas is 1400 South. We can go to 15th Street, but not up on 16th Street because the Vice Lord territory was up there on 16th Street, right? But you know, you got relatives, and I had a paper route up that way, but the paper route was early. I was earlier than I was out. But we went up to this restaurant, Joe, on 16th and Lawndale, and the Vice Lords had a headquarters right across the street from there. But you know, I'm up there with a couple friends of mine, and we in the restaurant, and we made our order and everything. And just about time, you know, we waiting on our order and stuff. About 7 or 8 Vice Lords came in there. You can tell they had them gold Tams on. Joe, I wish I could have disappeared in thin air. I know we was in big trouble, man. So they came over and they asked us, what are we doing up here? And all us, we speaking in unison. Oh, we just came to get something to eat. And then one of them asked one of my friends, you know what time it is? And he like, yeah. And then he looked at his watch, and the boy took the watch right off his wrist. They took the rest of our little money that we had, took our watches and stuff. You don't argue for nothing. You let them go ahead and strip you. And then they let us go. They let us go after they took all our stuff.
Didn't beat you up.
No, but check this out, Joe. They let us out of there. They said, make these your last cheeseburgers up here. And they let us walk out. When we walked out, Joe, soon as we got out the door, man, we hit around that corner. We was going around that corner so fast. It was going, woo! I got away. So about 3 weeks, maybe about a month later, is when they killed Martin Luther King. Riots and all that stuff was going on, right? And so I'm gonna tell you something. I was with the rest of the guys. We did some looting too.
Oh no!
We had us a bunch of goods too, Joe.
You needed watches, yeah?
No, we had liquor and clothes and all other kind of stuff. But one of the guys that was with us, he had sold some canned goods or something to one of the Vice Lords. He took it up on 16, sold to some of the Vice Lords, right? And the lady said, okay, you got any more? I want some more. Bring all you got. And so he come back around to where we at, and he want us to help. Come on, calling all us together, come and help him to take the stuff off. I'm like, no, I'm not going back up there. I remember
I'm not shopping for the Vice Lords.
I'm not going up there. So he called me all these kind of names, and then you punk and all that, and told the rest of them, they didn't want to be called upon, so they went with him and took all this stuff over to the lady's house. When they got there, Joe, they closed the door. Somebody closed the door behind them. House full of the Vice Lords. House full of them.
Holy smokes.
And then the lady said, you sold me all this rotten ass stuff and I want my money back. She ain't gave him no money, no way.
No.
Joe, they took him out one at a time and beat him. You know the hallways had a long staircase?
Yeah.
I beat him all down the staircase, jumped on him and all that stuff. Beat him up so bad, man. They barely made it around back to one of our friends where we all hang out at. That's where I left them at. I went home that day. The next morning, I come back around because this is where we hang out at one of the friends' house. And his mother said, she said, did you know what happened to his name? Keo, you know what happened to Keo? He's in the hospital. I'm like, no, what happened? She said, yeah, the Vice Lords. Yeah, beat him up so bad, man. And then one of them, they shot two of them from running. They had this sawed off shotgun, so they had pellets all in them. They had buckshot all in them, Joe. The other guys was all beat up and ribs broken, all this stuff like that. And I'm like, man, yeah, because they told me, they told us, and I remember vividly, make this show last, and I was so scared, I didn't go. But they went, and that's what happened, man.
Oh, I still remember we used to go. I had an uncle who was a big White Sox fan. So we would go to Comiskey.
Yeah.
We'd go to Comiskey Park, didn't think anything, park on a side street, go to the game, and then come out. And there was those ball fields right next to Comiskey, which I guess they built the new stadium there. But I still remember I'm walking down the street with my dad and my uncle and my cousin, and we're looking, and I see all of a sudden there's like some dust, on the ball field there. And I could see this one kid getting stomped, getting kicked.
Oh.
And I said, we should go over there. We got to see what's going on over there. Hey. And my dad and my uncle just said, no, go into the car and we're out of here.
Right.
Don't mess in people's business. And was there another gang besides the Vice Lords? I can't remember now.
Oh, there's a lot of, man. They like the Egyptian Cobras and the I know the Vice Lords real big on our side. They had the Cobras over there on the north side, and there's a few other gangs. I never got too involved in them, but I had friends that were in these different gangs. People, like kids I went to school with. Yeah, they had quite a few gangs. Even my brother, two of my younger brothers was in one of these gangs. They call themselves the Aces. And they wore these they wore these red towns.
Yeah.
And one time, Joe, one of the Aces shot and killed one of the Vice Lord kids, right? Oh man, what they do that for? Those Vice Lords came from they came from all over the city because they had chapters all over the place.
Yeah.
They came from all over the city, and we lived in these courtway buildings on Douglas. They broke down doors in every one of those apartments looking for these Aces. And my brother, one of them, he was at home. He hid in the dirt. We had so many clothes, man. Because there was a whole bunch of, he hid up in this big pile of dirty clothes. And they bypassed that. Because they had broke up in our house. They broke up in there, and my mom, and the rest of the kids were all scared. They went from first floor to third floor in every apartment from Central Park to Millard. Because the Courtway building is extended all the way the whole block. So there might have been like 30 apartments. They went through all of them. The police couldn't do nothing about it. There was too many of them. And they got away that day. But
police, the joke, growing up was, most of my friends either became priests, criminals, or cops. There was nothing else. In fact, when Martin Luther King was assassinated, I was actually at a friend's apartment, David, this guy. I worked at ARA Services, which was a vending machine company for college, to make money for college and stuff. It was over by Dunning. Remember the mental institution way on the west side?
Yeah.
It was right there. And I was visiting David and his family and stuff. So I ended up staying because they lived off Madison or Randolph. And they said, nope, you ain't going nowhere. You're just going to stay here for like the next 3 days because everybody was rioting and everything. Mm-hmm. And I just stayed with his family for like 3 days. Didn't tell my parents anything. My dad wasn't alive by then. Didn't tell mom or anything. I said, I'm staying over at Bobby's house and stuff because ARA Services, again, it's Northwest Side. Everybody in the plant was either black or Italian, and there was like maybe 2 Italians.
Okay.
In the whole plant, and my job was to go into each aspect of the company there and work for a week. I was the relief person to work for a week while somebody went on vacation and stuff. And everybody I worked with was black. I didn't think anything of it. They treated me great, I got called names every once in a while, but it was more Yeah. I mean, it was more like, it was just, oh, okay. I mean, and I kind of felt, oh, gee, thanks for calling me that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
When you were growing up and stuff, did you ever get called names? Did you get called the N-word and stuff when you went places?
A couple of incidents I got caught up in, yeah, but not much. But, we would call each other.
Well, yeah.
But that was okay. But, not really. I wasn't in those situations where, I was once or twice. But I do remember when I was in grammar school, I remember this vividly. When I was in first grade, Joe, I was smart. My brother, he's 11 months younger than me. He's smarter than me. So he taught me a lot of stuff. So when I got to school, I was good. First grade, no problem. Teacher put me in this elevated group, and I was the only black one in this group, in this circle. And I felt those vibes, Joe. And my teacher called me Bernie. Bernie? My name's Bernard. What you call me? Yeah, but it was just the vibes. The kids, they didn't really call you a nigger or anything like that. But, it was like, I wasn't good enough, wasn't supposed to be in this group, period. Just like that. Yeah. But I maintained, but, after a couple of questions, a couple of days, I was taken in, I was respected in the group.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
I knew the answers.
I mean, it was
put in the A group. Yeah.
It was funny for me. It is a reflection though, because for me, it was at ARA Services. Once they saw that I worked my ass off and I worked hard, didn't complain, kept my mouth shut and just did any kind of work. I didn't care. If it was cleaning out the grease traps out of the big steamer ovens or anything, then I was accepted. Mm-hmm. It was like once they figured out I was a hard worker, then I'm in. Once they figured out, hey, this guy is smart. He's one of us.
Right. Yeah. But also I had one little vibe at one of the triathlons I went to. The guy said he didn't know black guys can swim that kind of distance.
Hey, really? Yeah.
And, he was very vocal about it.
What?
Yeah. Kind of like fronting me off, in front of you. Yeah, I didn't know black guys can swim that distance. Glad I ain't no black guy.
Yeah, right. Wait, who are you talking to?
Right. Yeah.
Well, and triathlon is a pretty white sport. I mean, it's a rich sport. I mean, there's a lot of it's not as cheap as running. It's not as cheap as even swimming. You take the individual sports, biking's kind of expensive. Mm-hmm. But I was listening to a podcast and there was a black lady triathlete who recently, because of, all the Floyd George and everything and all the protests and the mistreatment, she said something about Ironman where she felt that way too, where, she didn't really feel welcome. There was always that kind of that snickering, behind it. And I guess she's pretty well known. I don't follow triathlon that much anymore outside of just our little race here, but, and it really shouldn't be that way, you would think. But when you think about it, a lot of organizations that are well known are not recruiting minority people.
Right.
They're going for people who have the right profile sometimes of what they think their sport should be, because most of the people who run the sports look like me and not like you.
Exactly. Right.
And it's just a shame. Now your son and you seem to have these great organizations in Chicago that are he's got a running group, you got triathlon groups. Talk about that. Talk about all the groups and stuff.
Okay, I do mine second. my son has got a group that's called Men Run These Streets.
I like their shirts. I saw the shirts and stuff there. They're great.
So that's to encourage more black men to, to get themselves together, physically fit, and also, spread the unity around the community, try to get more people, because, it's a lot of obesity and our kids are growing up obese, and, and it's all because of, our food habits, lack of exercise, stuff like that. So he's able to build this group of men that promote health and fitness through running. And back in the day when I was running and I was doing a lot of volunteering, I used to take him to the races with me. And he would volunteer and, be involved with it, and it got him into a little bit of running. So I'm very proud of him for putting this whole big effort together to, bring black men into the fold of running, or more black men into it. Because when I was running, I learned and I built up a group. We were the Rainbow Runners.
The Rainbow Runners.
Rainbow Runners. Rainbow Runners in 1980 when I first started running. So it first was Rainbow Runners, and how attitudes and personalities in club meetings get, and they broke away, they broke off. And so the biggest part of the group, they became the Stony Island Runners. Okay. And I used to see those guys on the lakefront running. They had their shirt with the logo on it and everything. And I'm just getting into this running. And so I ran to one of the guys, and we ran, and it was so nice. I said, and I joined the club. Then I found out about, they were the Rainbow Runners. And, but these guys that trained me, Stony Island Runners. But I would run into the other guys on the lakefront, and piece by piece, met more and more people. And then I joined the Rainbow Club, because a couple of guys I ran with on a regular basis was in the Rainbow Club. So I'm in 2 clubs now, Joe. And running, I don't have a job now, so this running is helping me out a whole lot, and I can get out, and it's helping me mentally and stress-wise and all that. I'm free from depression by running. And so I joined the Rainbow Runners and running with them. I went to my first race, Joe, the 10K. I didn't know it was so much fun early in the morning.
Yeah, short race.
Yeah, have a 10K race and get back and have refreshments and listen to people talk about running, how they did and all that. And I found out about running shoes, because I was running these Earth shoes. Remember the Earth Walkers?
I had a pair of Earth shoes, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was running in. Then I'm looking around at everybody else, running shoes. I've been training these things here, and now I found out about running shoes. And I got more hooked into it, because every weekend I got to go to a race now. And so I'm racing. I joined the club, and I'm learning more. I'm running distance with these guys now, because I never really ran. So I built up running distance. And I'm recruiting for our club all the time, He's like, wait, because we had rainbow shirts on and stuff like that. And they would ask about it. And then we had runners that were running, Joe. They run. So we went to the races, man. We had champions. And then I think about 2 years later, they asked me, Bernard, why don't you be president? Why don't you run for president of the club? I'll vote for you. And I became president of the Rainbow Runners Club.
Awesome.
Yeah. And Joe, I would put out the newsletter, I follow up on things, and I meet other runners on the lakefront, I recruit them. And, the University of Chicago, those young white kids and Asian, everybody, they was joining Rainbow. They love that name, Rainbow Runners.
Rainbow Runners, yeah.
So I had some tough runners, man. All nationality. So we was into diversity and running all the time with the Rainbow Runners. And I built the club up to like 100 and something members, man. And we go to the race, we was dominating, man. We was on it.
Whoa.
Yep. And then so my son, going to the races. So some of that kind of rubbed off on him now. So that's why I say I'm very proud of him for now. He's kind of like I was telling him on Father's Day, I used to have my crew. Now that I'm so proud of him having this group of black men, educated black men too, that can, get out and help the rest of the community get in shape, get, you know, involved in physical fitness, and, you know, maybe we can outrun some of this diabetes and different things that we got going on in our community. So
yeah, they looked at the photos that I've seen that you've posted and stuff. They look like a great bunch of guys. I mean, it looks like there's guys old as me, you know, got a little gray going on.
oh yeah, plenty of them, yeah. Plenty of them. Yep. And then my group, you know, the kids, you know, I've been training kids in the triathlon sport. We're coming up on 30 years. Next year, make 30 years, Joe.
30 years?
So I'm working on the big 30-year anniversary. I want to get that in there in this before we finish up. But yeah, we're working on 30 years of TriMasters. I started in 1992 with our first program.
Wow.
So 2021 will be our 30th program. We're working on our 30th year. So this COVID thing got me locked down where I can start building on the celebrations that we're going to have for the 30th anniversary. So I'm reaching out to a lot of my kids there on Facebook, the kids that came through the program. They're sending back some funny photos, and we're also building a new website. We lost our website, the domain hosts and stuff like that. They must have went out of business, whatever. So we lost a great website. So I'm building the website, so all over again. So we're gonna put a page on there like we had, Where Are They Now? So
Perfect.
Show from a kid that was in the program when he was 5 years old. Again, some of them, they've been out of college a long time. They got kids. They are doctors and lawyers now. A lot of them I still keep in touch with. And then, you know, a variety of success stories.
Well, how did you first start that? Did you run it? Was it an existing group, or did it just come out of your head?
Oh, this is something I did because I like the triathlon sport so much, Joe. And then, again, I was president of, this is how it happened. I'm president of the running club. And, you know, when you run, you talk about everything when you run it. The president of Chicago State, she came here, before she made the decision to become president, she wanted to know, was it a running club that she could be involved in? Because she's a runner. So, anytime a black person needs to know something about running, they say, ask Bernard.
There you go.
And so I got a call from Chicago State, and this lady said, yeah, we're getting ready to induct a new president. And but she's a marathon runner, and she wanted to know about running clubs. And somebody told me that I should reach out to you. And she said, can I come to our office and talk to her about it? Yeah. And so I went and I met with this lady, Miss Evans, and told her, yeah, I'm president of the club, blah, blah. She said, would you have time to meet with the president, the interim, the president-elect? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And so I met with Dolores, her name's Dolores Cross, and we hit it off just like that because we had running in common.
Yeah.
And she, you know, she had already made that decision she's gonna be the president. So now she got the running club locked down. She's in, and she reached out to me again, you know, to go for a run. And we over that year or so, we might have ran 20 times, and I might have spoke about I'm trying to start this youth program. I want to teach kids triathlon because I'm in triathlon now too. And I tried it at the health club where I was at. But they want to know, Joe, what's the budget and the proposal and all that. I don't know about that. I just got this idea, you know. I started with adults the year before, 2 years before, because I met the original TriMasters. They came from New York.
Oh.
Black and Hispanic. They showed up at the triathlon one day. And I'm trying to figure out where the hell all these, you know, Black and Hispanics come from. I'm usually the only one that's at the race.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
And nobody told me this was happening. So I met the guy that was over the TriMasters from New York, Alvin Hartley. So I met Alvin, and we talked about it. And he said, okay, you'll be with us next year. And I did. I got with them. So they had, you know, they had a sponsorship on Pan Am Airlines. Burger King sponsored them. They had a couple more little small sponsors. But you know who they were sponsoring to as athletes? Brad Kearns, Jeff Devlin,
Oh.
Susan Lashaw, and some more of them. I got all their files and stuff from them because they put out a triathlon book one day and had all them in it. And one of their sponsors they put in there, TriMaster, was one of their sponsors, and they were. And Pan Am was flying these guys everywhere they went. They went to Australia, they went to Beijing, they doing triathlons all over the place. I got in on the tail end. I did fly to New York to do the New York Marathon, and then when we put the Jamaica Sprint Triathlon together in the Grill, Jamaica, I went to Jamaica, so Pan Am, first class, man. We were flying first class and everything, so that was good. So that's how I got the TriMaster started, but by me dealing with adults, I built the chapter in Chicago. I had about 10 people, but some of them, they don't know how to swim, but, they want to learn. And then I got kind of discouraged with adults because when you need them, Joe, they're not available.
Huh. Yeah, funny how
never available. You meet with them or try to get something to them, not available. There wasn't no social media at that time. They're not available. So I must have talked to Dolores several times about I'm trying to get this youth program. And one day I got a call from her office. President's office called me, said, can you meet with her? And when I went back up to meet with her again, met with her in the office. Now she's president for several months or whatever. And she said, can you really do a youth program? She said, can you really do a youth program? I'm like, yeah. Ain't gonna say no at that point. She told me to. She had a $10,000 grant that she had got from Chicago Community Trust, and she wanted to, use it, but she wanted to get the most impact out of it. Can you do the program? And I said, yeah. So she said, okay, we'll have another meeting in about a week or so. And she got the athletic director and a couple people from legal. And we met again. She said we can put this on legally and what it would take. And hashed it all out. So they put me on board. I took a leave from City College. I worked for City College. I took a leave of absence. I took all my vacation time, and I was out to go ahead and try this thing at Chicago State. So when I got the okay, I had rounded up 30 kids, Joe. Oh. 30 kids. Some people on campus, kids, they weren't in the program because it was in the middle of July of '92. It was in July. So I rounded up some kids on campus. And one grandmother, I told her, Joe, I had that vision. I'm going to have this program. I even got a news article that scares me to death because they wrote it up before I even got the program. I'm going to visualize I'm going to have this thing. I told his grandmother, I said, when I get this program, she's taking care of the grandkids, and they bad. Not really bad, but kids is kids.
Yeah.
You got to raise grandkids because your kids, they into the drugs and the gang, and they left Johnny with you. And so I got those 5 kids, and some few kids on campus, and a couple more kids, and so anyway, we ended up with 30 kids. I had 2 lifeguards and 2 guys from the TriMaster group that I had started. They came to help me, and I bought 10 swim bicycles.
Whoa!
He still loves me for that right now. I bought 10 swim bikes. I had 2 lifeguards, and we had the campus, which had the swimming pools, running track, all of classrooms I could use. I had everything. And we just let it rip off the cuff. Sometimes, okay, they gave me an office too. They gave me a little office in the administration building on the 2nd floor, right up under the president on the 3rd floor. I'm on the 2nd floor with the lady that called me in the first place. She's my boss now.
Oh.
I got an office right there. I work with her in special events department. Public affairs is right in that same corridor right there too. So public affairs, they found out I had this program. They want to do a press release, right? They did a press release, Joe, and it went out. The Sun-Times came down there to interview me and a couple other people, and they wrote it up in the Sun-Times. Chicago State University is sending 30 kids to the Chicago Kids Triathlon. 2 days later, WGN-TV called.
Huh.
Muriel Clear, Muriel Clear?
Yeah.
She's still on there. She's been on there all the time. Muriel Clear came down to the Chicago State, interviewed me, interviewed the kids. Then the following week, they came to the triathlon. They filmed all that, and they put it together and put it on WGN TV for kids' sake. A 3-minute thing, show the kids training, show their interviews, show them racing, and at the end of the parents hugging the kids. It'll make you cry, Joe. I'm gonna hook you up to that video.
Oh,
but
man.
Yeah, after we got those kids doing that interview that Muriel Clear did, it was so fantastic. It just, I used to show it to everybody. I think we got it on our YouTube thing too, but it'll make you cry. Just 3 minutes how she put it together with the interviews. One of the kids, they showed him, one of the coaches was holding him in the water like this here. He couldn't swim. And she asked him, he said, I'm kind of scared. So the lady, Muriel Clear said, are you going to continue to try? And Willie broke it down for her. He said, that's what we're here for. Try, master. Try to learn how to be the masters at what we do. I couldn't believe it.
Perfect.
I couldn't believe Willie said that.
Perfect.
He broke it down. I cried. Willie's one of the 5 kids grandma was keeping.
One of the tough kids. Yeah.
But when Miriam Clear said, you're going to continue to try, Willie broke it down for her. Yeah, that's what we're here for.
But we call it try.
Try to learn how to be master, what we do. I couldn't believe it.
That's an amazing story. And that was in the 90s, right?
Yeah, that was 92. That was 92. The first year we had the triathlon. We started training in July. And in the first week of September, I think it was, we was at the kids triathlon ready. But our 32s, we was there. So over the years, that's all we trained for. Make sure we train group of kids to be at Chicago Kids Triathlon.
Do you have any kind of limit now on how many kids you can take?
You know, we got so popular on campus there, we had to limit it to 100. We had to limit it to 100 because I couldn't pay enough coaches and, you know, get it logistic-wise, and, you know, that was enough. 100 was enough, burn everybody out. Kids tired, coaches burned out, everybody all day long. For 4 days a week, you know, Monday through Thursday. We didn't do Friday. Because, again, they had the energy crisis. So the university usually kind of shut down on Friday. So that was good for us, too, because we all fried.
Yeah.
Keep the kids from 9 o'clock to 4 or 4:30 before some of the parents come and get them. So we had the kids all day long.
Wow.
Train them and feed them and whole 9 yards. But, yeah, so after that first year, we got funding because that news clip was all over the country. It was everywhere because it's on cable. They even saw it down in Jamaica. When we got down in Jamaica, they seen us on TV. We saw y'all on TV. And in fact, when we put the Negril Sprint Triathlon together, I was helping the New York-based crew put the Negril Triathlon together. One year, WGN TV crew, they went with us from Chicago.
Oh, they went down with you guys.
Yeah, they went down to Jamaica with us and they filmed the whole thing. Another thing they put on WGN, Chicago's very own.
Oh yeah, I mean that was the station.
How we train our folks, and we even brought the spirit of triathlon to Jamaica. And Rich King, the sports guy, he put it on his show. So we had another big WGN thing with Rich King that he showed about us promoting triathlon sports. So
that's years ahead of other people doing this stuff. Years ahead.
Oh yeah. We're ahead of the curve. In fact,
how many kids? So there's like 100 kids in it now?
No, right now with this COVID thing, you know, we got to go online and see who's registered. Meanwhile, we, you know, over the last couple of years, we've been out at a new place out in Matson at the community center out there. And it's 18 minutes from 95th and Dan Ryan. We used to have a pickup, take some of the city kids out to the suburb out there, train in a facility that, you know, can accommodate what we do, and they love us out there. So we was averaging 60 to 80 kids out there.
Wow,
But most kids I took to the triathlon, Joe, one year I had 108 kids that made it to the kid triathlon. We got there late and everything, Joe. We had 4 bus loads and parents with cars and trying to get everybody up to the north side. We were late. The race director, he was so goddamn mad. Because the schedule got to be rearranged now.
Well, they had to wait for you guys.
Yeah, the party is here. And so
when you do that, I mean, I understand where you can swim and whether it's a pool or the lake or whatever. Where do you guys bike ride when you do the triathlons?
When they do the actual event,
yeah.
Oh, they closed off the streets up there in mostly up in Lincoln Park area. On the lake,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
Up on the lakefront. So they shut off from Wilson Avenue all the way up to Foster.
Yeah.
So they can do the event. They swim in the lake or run in the lake. A lot of kids, they don't swim, they run. They run out there and they make the turn, they run back in, get on their bike, and they're gone. So yeah, they shut it off right up there around Montrose or Foster.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know exactly.
I'm gonna turn on the light. Oh, that might be a little better.
There you go.
A little better, yeah. But yeah. So for every year, that's what we train our group to make sure that we have kids at the kids triathlon. So we've done it for 29 years.
Wow, and it's right before, kind of a month before the Chicago Marathon, right? Because Chicago is in October.
Yeah, the marathon is in October. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so again, I was into this 30 years. I got a lot, maybe about 2,800 or so kids come through the program. We used to have after-school programming and everything. So I got millions and millions of photos I'm gonna be going through because I was sorting out a whole bunch of my stuff and going through. Because we're building a website, so I'm just going through all these articles.
That's going to be great to show where they are now. I think that's a great idea.
Oh yeah, because a lot of them, man, that's one kid. I always tell about Ryan's story. Ryan, she came to us. She was like 9 years old, and she was on the swim team. She's on the swim team, but her mother, let Ryan. Ryan, she's got a lot of energy. You want to get into everything. Found out about the triathlon program, brought Ryan up there. Ryan's 9 years old. I talk about her all the time again. Ryan, she took on to that real good. She learned how to run. Oh, Joe, when she learned how to run, we could none of the boys touch her. I had some stuff out of one of the boys, I put Ryan on them. And then she got into the biking pretty good. And then she did so good in the triathlon when we first went. One of the local champions, Lauren Jensen.
Yeah.
Lauren Jensen kind of latched on to Ryan. Gave Ryan one of her bikes, real nice racing bike, so she could race on. Oh, the following year, Ryan was dangerous. Man, she just blew all those kids away. And then she did the sprint the next day. She did the sprint triathlon. She wanted that kid stuff. That's something else. She wanted to do the sprint. So we had to sign her up and had her mother sign the waiver. Because she's under 16. She do the sprint triathlon. Joe, she just had a ball. And she did so good in the kids race, they had a championship. And she won the all the kids stuff.
Overall,
Overall, and they had a trip for her to go to Oceanside, California to defend her championship. So we got to take Ryan to Oceanside, California.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, we had to take Ryan to Oceanside, California. And she did real good in that too. Joe, she always said she wanted to be a doctor. She's a doctor. She's a doctor. In fact, 2 years ago, she was at the tent in Hawaii.
Oh, helping out.
Medical tent in Hawaii, yeah. She was one of the medics in the tent at Ironman World Championships.
Wow.
I introduced her to Dave, Scott, and all that, because me and Dave, real good friends.
Yeah.
Say, Dave, this is one of my kids here. And we sat around, we had, had a little talk, a little time, hang out with Dave, and nobody else was bombarding him.
Well, and if she's a doctor, I mean, she's a doctor, she's out on the front lines now with all this COVID stuff.
Yep. So she's one of the success stories, but another one, Ariana. We sent Ariana's bio into one of the writers from the Triathlon magazine, they're gonna do a little something for us coming up. But I sent her thing out. Ari was the first 5-year-old I let into the program because you had to be 6 years old. You had to be 6 because by the time we go to triathlon, you could be 7, which you had to be 7 to do the event. So you had to at least be 6 years old to be with us. And, you know, triathlon rules and stuff, you had to be 7. So you had an older brother in the program. That's the only reason I let her in, because she had an older brother in there, because we don't have no, you know, time for no babysitting and crying and all that stuff like that. And
there's no crying in triathlon.
Right. I told her mother, I said, if she don't cry or nothing like that, then, you know, she can stay. Joe, she was there for about 2 weeks. She had took over, man.
At 5 years old, yeah.
She's the mascot captain and all that stuff. She's another one. She learned how to run. She beat up on everybody. So Ariana, she got to be pretty good. Now she went through the ranks. She went to a historically black university and everything, and she's a lawyer.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So I asked her to send me one of her bios. She said, anything for you, Coach Bernard. She ended up with 2 brothers. There were 3 of them in the program. And they in fact, their father was one of the few parents that really stuck and motivated me and kept me motivated. He passed while, you know, the kids were in the program too. So, but he got to see them do the triathlon and, you know, see them grow in it. And me and him, you know, we had this relationship. And you know, they after he passed, and you know, they recovered from it a little bit. They always come back, you know, and me and Sean and the youngest one is Cameron and the girl Ariana. Yeah, we just like, you know, family.
Your family. It's, well, like we say in Hawaii, you know, it's all hana. And I mean, it is, like you said too, it's important that the parents support it. Right.
Yep. And I had some good parent support too, because again, it'd be some of those parents, Joe, they asked 1,000 questions. Well, what about this? What about this? Well, my kids say that y'all made them do this and blah, 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 all that. By the time we get them settled down, that's one of the best parents you can have.
Yeah.
That parent that's on your neck about all this 1,000 stuff. The kids that went home told them we made them do all this like horror story. They don't want to do no workout.
Yeah.
But sometimes I tell them, I say, well, I don't think this is really the camp for your son. They're like, no.
Wait a minute.
You do right.
I'll talk to him, yeah.
Right. I'll talk to him because, you know, I don't have time for all that. If they don't want to train, they should tell you. Because I tell them, too, you're not going to participate, stay at home.
Yeah.
Stay at home. Don't come in with that because we ain't here for that. I have no babysitters here, none of that stuff like that. You're not going to participate because some of, you know, kids going to be kids. They do all this kind of thing. But this ain't the place for it. We got plenty of training for them to do. So,
but
Joe.
Isn't it great? Isn't it rewarding, you know, for you to be able to do that?
Oh, yeah. It's big rewards, man, because I had so much fun. Because, you know, they say what you learn as a kid is what really sticks with you. So as a kid, Joe, I'm in this big family. I had to take care of all these jokers, the ones that's up under me. So I was into kid raising all the time. I just know some sports now. I can raise these kids and teach them some triathlon at the same time and get paid. So.
But do you find it every once in a while somebody will come up to you and go, Coach Bernard, do you remember me? And you know them when they're small.
Yeah.
And then they're like full-size adults, and it's like, wait a minute, who are you?
Who are you, boy? Right. Some of them, yeah, I can't remember them all because, again, you know, a lot of times I put them with my coaches anyway. Running coach got you. Or they go to the pool, the swim coaches got you. I'm the administrator. And I'm disciplinarian, whatever at times, but the coaches know the kids a whole lot better. A lot of them I know, a lot of them outstanding, a lot of them I know they really like the sport, and I you know, give them a little extra And so over the years, we keep in touch, and those are the ones that's on Facebook that we still just keep in touch all the time. So
I mean, that's a great thing about social media now, is that we can stay in touch, and that you can watch them grow up, even though they maybe have moved to a different area.
Right. Yep. And then again, it's rewarding to see how many of them have, just went through the process of going to high school and went to a good college, and they came out to college and they're successful in their career, and they got kids. I got a couple of them that got kids coming to the program now. So I got grand trimesters, whatever, grandkids.
So wait, how old are you?
Right.
I ain't that old.
Yep. And then another good story is it was one kid in the program. It was 4 of them. Their last name Fry. Michael Fry, Mitchell Fry, William Fry, and their sister name was Gigi. Gigi is a nurse. I just saw William, and he just got married. He was in the big security thing. He learned that. Michael, he's a nurse now, but he became my head swim coach for Trimasters. He came back and he became the head swim coach for Trimasters. And he coached my youngest boy, who's in there, he's 17 now, trained him to be a champion swimmer. Kids that I trained my last one to be a champion swimmer. We used to go to Illinois State Championship. He went to the Illinois State Championship about 6 times. Got all kind of swim trophies and awards and stuff like that.
Well, he didn't inherit his swim ability from you, though.
No, he's much better than me. He's much better than me. Plus, I started him when he was like 3 years old. Took him to the pool with me when he was 3. And, show him a few things. Then I turned him over to a coach. And I never forget this one coach had him doing the kickboard. And they had him the kick down. Now he wanted him to kick to the swim, to the deep end, turn, and come back. And he's getting down there, he started crying because he's at the deep end. And the coach, all he said, just go ahead and cry. Just add more water to the pool. No excuse crying, they gonna get you out of this. It just adds more water to the pool. Keep going. And so he outgrew that coach, and then I turned him over to Michael, which Michael became the head coach for the swim team, Chicago South swim team that we had. So we had a lot of kids in the Chicago South swim team. They also became into Trimasters and became triathletes. But we had a lot of black swim champions.
You've had an amazing effect, on an entire city.
I've heard that. A lot of people say, "Boy, you inspired me," and I can't remember.
Well, it's like Dave Daggett, right? The guy he's Ironman guy. He's a lawyer in Georgia.
Do I, Big Dave?
Yeah, you probably know Dave. He's gone to Ironman a lot of times. Really nice guy, super high-end lawyer in Georgia, and he does kind of the same thing where he's got so many community activities going on where he just inspires people. And it's just amazing the fact that, you throw that little pebble in the pond, all the ripples that, just go out. It's just amazing.
I got to meet him if I don't have him on my Facebook thing. I got to meet him.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you know Dave. And stuff.
Yeah, I probably do, yeah.
Super nice guy. Friends with Mike Riley and all those guys and everything.
Okay.
He knows him.
Yeah. Speaking of Mike Riley got something big coming up too, ain't he?
Mike's always got something in the works. Bob Babbitt, not so much. Bob just does interviews now.
Yeah, Bob, that's my man there. Bob showed me a lot of love when I first came to Ironman. When I first came to Ironman, remember he started the Challenge Athletes thing at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they was having this big thing, and they was announcing about the Challenge Athletes who was there, and I'm just sitting there in the meeting. And then Bob started talking about, and we have a fantastic person here that inspired kids all over the world and this and that and blah, blah, and I'm looking around seeing Bernard Lyles. He calls me up. Now I got to do a little spill. Pull me out just like that. I'm like, okay.
That's Bob. You know, I mean, he's a great guy. He's done so much for his community, not just for triathlon and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, Bob is the best, man. And,
he still comes out for Ultraman, and he comes out every once in a while. You know, he always comes out for Ironman and stuff. But
yeah.
what was your first triathlon that you can remember doing?
I remember vividly because that's my man, Leon's Triathlon in Hammond, Indiana. It used to be in Hobart, but it's in Hammond now. So I did Leon's first race, which was in 1983.
Whoa!
Yeah, and he was in Hobart, Indiana. So Joe, I was a runner then, but I got pretty good in it. And then one of my friends, he went to indoor triathlon. One of the guys at the running club went to indoor triathlon, and he said, "No, I did this triathlon thing," and he said it was so much fun. He said we swam in this pool, and then we biked outside and we ran outside, but we swam in the indoor pool. He said, "But you should try one. I know you'd like it. You'll do good at it." So I went down and I saw the Bud Light triathlon that was in Chicago, and I watched it in '82. That same season, I watched it. But it was so exciting to see all the people in the lake and riding up and down Lakeshore Drive. And then I thought about it. I said, yeah, I'm going to try that triathlon next year. So I trained, and I found out about Leon's triathlon. So I signed up for Leon. Joe, I went there to pick up my race package on Friday night. On the way there, I can see the race site from the highway. And I look down there, I see the race site. I see the lake down there. I see all these inner tubes stretched out down this lake. It didn't look too bad from that. But when I got there, I looked at the site like, oh, oh shit, that's a long way to swim down there. And then there was a girl standing behind me. She said, oh, we have to go down there and come back. What'd she say that for?
Yeah, really?
I never did nothing. I just stepped in some stuff now, Joe. That was on Friday night. The race is on Sunday.
Yeah.
I did not sleep on Friday night or Saturday night. I was scared, Joe.
Nervous, yeah.
I done got myself into something, but all the running club, they know I'm going. They're not ready. Good luck, Bernard, and congratulations. We know you're going to do well, and tell us all about it. Even one of the friends, she lent me a bike because I had some old crappy bike. She said, I know you ain't gonna ride that thing.
Now, speaking of bikes, you have some very interesting bikes that I haven't seen in quite a while.
Oh yeah, I got some pretty good bikes. I got 4 bikes now, but I take care of my bikes when I get them.
Well, you got a Softail, right?
I got a soft ride that I've been riding for the last couple of weeks. I hadn't rode it in a couple of years, so I still got that. I got a Kestrel SC200 that I bought. I bought that thing 20 years ago or so. Yeah, I bought it after I went to Ironman because I used another bike in Ironman. So yeah, I had it about 20 years. And the one that I rode at Ironman was a Swim Paramount. I still have it, but it's in Florida. I left it at my brother's house in Florida, so when I get down there, I can ride.
A Schwinn Paramount, right?
Paramount, right. I have a Schwinn Paramount. I got that. That's what I rode when I did Ironman. And now I got a Cervelo. I got a Cervelo P3.
Ah, it's a good bike.
It was a triathlete. He donated it to the program. He donated. He knew I was gonna keep it, but it had no wheels and no pedals on it. But Joe, the rest of it, that was an expensive bike. Carbon fiber. Yeah, got the real nice bar on there. I know that bar cost like $800 by itself. The duration, all that stuff on it. So I got some nice bikes to ride. But yeah, Leon's Triathlon, that was my first one. And they treated me.
How happy were you when you got out of the water?
Oh, when I got out the water, I was good because I was in the second wave that went off, Joe. I was standing there looking at that water too. First wave, they went boom. And then we had to line, we had to move up. The second wave went out. Boom, I went with him. I went in the back, but I went. 17 minutes later, 17 minutes, I was out the water, Joe. Woo! I was on my way gone. So I got on the bike. It was all good. We got stopped by a damn train. A train. I think maybe about 10 riders got past before the train slowed down the whole pack. Oh man, we waiting there. All the riders started piling up. So finally the train cleared and everybody went out at the same time on the bike, man. It was chaos. It was chaos trying to get back on the track. So we got through biking, a lot of bikers, much better bikers than me, much better swimmers. We had to run. I'm a runner, Joe. I was collecting them. I was on the run, Joe.
Run them down.
I came back number 44. The first 50 win a prize. I won a cap and a tank top, Leon's tank top. So I was in, Joe. I was in.
You're hooked then.
I'm gonna show you a picture because I showed it to Leon the other day. I don't know if you can see that.
Kind of tilted sideways.
That way?
Up.
Up.
There you go.
That's Leon at the first triathlon.
Oh.
Yeah. That's Leon. I showed it to him the other day. And he said, "Where'd you get that from?"
That's real life.
I got it on my scrapbook. Because I'm going through all my scrapbooks, put out my legacy on the website. And Leon's my first triathlon. So I showed him the picture. That was him giving out the awards. But they treated me so nice, Joe. That's how I got hooked in triathlon. Because when I got there, I was the only one there. I was scared. I got myself into something. This black boy got into something that he ain't got no business into. I didn't have a helmet. The girl already let me have a bike. Leon said, "Where's your helmet?" "I don't have a helmet." I didn't know how you need to have one. Go on the trail over there and tell my mom to give you one of my helmets. One of these remember those leather helmets, Joe?
Yeah.
Leather helmets. That's what I had. And Leon said, "You can go ahead and keep it and pay me whenever, whatever." But I had so much fun that day and they treated me so nice. All that fear of me being the only one there, scared, it left. And when I won the prize and all that stuff, I was good.
That's
so with Leon for 14 years before he went into a hiatus with the triathlon because the casino moved in and politics were too big. They thought Leon was interrupting with their, I don't know how the politics run, but we used to have the part of the Skyway locked down for Leon's triathlon, and somewhere that didn't work with the casino people, and Leon didn't have a triathlon for about 7 or 8 years, but he's back again.
Oh, yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, Leon's back now for about 7 years.
And it's just called Leon's Triathlon?
Yeah, Leon's Triathlon, or Leon's Triathlon Festival, or Leon's World's Fastest Triathlon. But go to leontriathlon.com, and that's Leon.
Yeah, I'll track it down and stuff.
In fact, Leon just, since he didn't have an event this year, his mom put on a virtual duathlon where you run, bike, run, and then she has some fun runs and stuff like that. So I did that too because again, Leon and them, we were so close. I call his mother Mom.
Yeah.
All the time I know Mom, and Mom know I better be at the race every time. Every year I'm at the race and I'm looking for Mom. Check in with Mom when I get there, and she's always, "Oh, Bernie's here, Bernie's here."
That's the way it should be, accepting of athletes. Part of the reason I'm in Hawaii is because pretty much everybody here is that way. It's like, I don't care what, if you're tall, short, or what color you are and stuff. It's just like, if you're a good guy, if you're a good girl, great. If you're not, well, then we'll see you later. Aloha.
Right. But even the days when I didn't race, I'm working the race with Mom. And making sure, because Leon's in Zombieland, the race directors, they got so much going on.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that's been, I think, part of your success is the fact that you're willing to help out and volunteer.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. In fact, the Federation gave me a big award for that. I got a big old certificate that I have framed, you know, for my volunteer spirit in triathlon and stuff like that. So I got that over there. But yeah, I always volunteer. I like it, and I get to meet more people, coach my athletes as they go, and then if somebody's there needing talk to me about it, whatever, inspire them, I'm there for that too.
Well, I mean, I think it's great that you're able to, you've been able to travel outside the country and see other races in other places. And, coming out to Hawaii, I think is special for everybody.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
And the fact that you come out and you go to those places, I don't know, it's great to win stuff, but I think it's more important to participate. And you've been a participator.
Yep. So, yeah, I enjoy it. And I meet a lot of good people. And then the ground crew, that makes this whole thing happen. That's a special crew. Volunteers and the event staff, it's a special crew.
Oh, yeah. Some of those guys are pretty harsh. Yeah. I'm not gonna call out B mains about anything here, but.
Yeah. I run into some harsh ones, yeah.
No, Brian's a good guy. They all are, but that's the thing, it's great that, they sometimes let us get involved in that way. And we feel like you are part of a team and that it's not that you're just being used.
Right.
And
then when I was there in Hawaii, I was always work at the warehouse. Yeah. I was always with the warehouse crew over there with what is his name?
Butter. Butter is still there.
Butter, yeah, with Butter. Even though he's a little rough and rash sometimes, but he's got to do his job. I understand that, do his job. I'm just pitch in. And once I met with the crew that he works with, we're all good. Butter's just got a job to do.
Yeah.
And he's a good guy outside of the job because we all sat at the VIP table together and had a good time. Oh, good. Say Bernie a seat right there.
Well, and I think, in moments of stress, which is the week before a race, any race, doesn't matter, that you're bound to maybe lose your temper, maybe say something that you shouldn't say and that you regret. But I think everybody who's involved knows it's just the stress of doing it.
I understand that. Yeah, I understand it perfectly. Yeah, because the race directors, they're like zombies. They're in zombie land. I've been a race director too. We had our own kids triathlon for 6 years, and I'm the director of the event. Plus, I'm director of the kids program. So all week long, all day, all summer, I'm fried.
Yeah.
Come down to race day. If I haven't delegated everything out good, I have to take that.
Yeah, I always.
I know.
My tease is always that it's a rock rolling downhill that day of the race and just get out of the way.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans? I mean, you're obviously planning your anniversary, where are they now and stuff, but do you have any plans to, maybe expand and not just do triathlon stuff for the kids, but do duathlons or anything like that? Anything else you got going on in Chicago?
No, just right now, I'm just so busy with just, trying to fit myself into this new world that's coming up. Virtual this, virtual that, Zoom meetings and
and
lockdown, COVID, and just try to work your way because everybody's got to reinvent themselves now.
Yeah, I think that's very, very wise for you to say that. I see too many people like in the ultra running world talking about, well, I can't wait until we get back to normal.
You forget that for a while.
There's a new normal.
A new normal.
There is definitely different rules that's going to be going on. I've been throwing it around in my head about how to do aid stations.
Yeah.
Triathlon now. Man, it's going to be tough.
Right. And then when it comes down to just like everybody said, what are you going to do about your kids training and stuff like that? I'm going to wait just like everybody else is going to wait. Park District, they're offering summer programs, but they said no swimming, no field trips. Johnny must have his mask every day. Stuff like that. Then they have to train their staff and crew. I'm not trying to go through all that. Plus, we're sanctioned through the USA Triathlon.
Yeah.
So until I can get sanctioning and insurance, I just got to follow the leader of the USA the Federation, what they're going to be doing. Meanwhile, let the Park District sort out how they deal with kids in summer camps. If they work it out, then I see how they do it. By that time, you know, we'll try to roll out something, but not until then.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much planning I think we can all do now. I mean, we got to kind of wait to see. I mean, for me, it's been testing, treatment, and vaccine.
Right.
You know. And
even it's going to be a couple years after they get a vaccine before people are going to be able to, you know, race or go back to normal without the social distancing and mask and all that, or things like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very challenging, but I mean, it's people like you that have met the challenges in the past that are the ones that are going to lead into the future, I think. And plus the people that you've trained, you know, through your organization and stuff, those are the leaders. They're the doctors, the lawyers.
Yeah.
You know,
they're doing it, right. Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that are going to actually, you know, I got a lot of faith in the younger generation. I know there's every generation, like when we were growing up, there was the kid that turned out to be a cop, hopefully a good cop, not a bad cop. The kid that turned out to be a crook. That's plenty. I got plenty of those in my history. The kids turned out to be priests and doctors and lawyers and leaders and stuff.
Right. So now, again, back to that is what kids learn when they're young. So this generation that's coming through now, they're going to learn about the movement and, you know, diversity. All lives matter, not just Black lives matter. All lives matter. And if they grow up with that, I think we can work our way out of some of this racism and stuff like that. Because again, all of the ones that racist people, they learn that as kids from their parents.
Yeah, I'm kind of amazed that, not really, but you know, amazed that people are surprised at the racism and the prejudice. It's like, what? Really? You're surprised?
It's been there all the time. We just able to record it now.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and when the one guy who was a football coach who was on some weird network that had all kinds of racism and conspiracy on it, and then 2 weeks later, after his players called him out on it, oh, I didn't realize it was like that. It's like, yeah, really?
Right.
You didn't realize because somebody called you on it.
That's right. That's the only time you act like you realize it. Man, yep. But the new generation, you know, if they keep, I was happy to see, whereas, you know, so many different nationalities they on this whole movement, and it wasn't just one protest. They protesting all over the country, all over the world. In fact, over in Europe they were protesting.
Yep.
You know, Black Lives Matter over there too.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is all lives matter. It's just how you know. We have exposed how you treated Black people over the centuries. Since 400 years now of slavery, and now we can videotape all this stuff that you've been doing to us.
Yeah, I find it kind of ironic that some people are worried about tearing statues down because they honor people, you know, that is part of their heritage, and they say, well, we shouldn't ignore our heritage. But then when you talk about racism and how Black people were treated, then they say, well, we need to get beyond that.
Right.
You know, it's like,
right.
Wait a minute.
I'm going to get beyond them, the statues.
Wait, aren't you going to get beyond your statues and stuff?
Right. Do you know the history behind this statue? Or the history behind the Confederate flag?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's you know, I mean, when I was in Minnesota, going to school in Minnesota, we had a cooperative, and I was part of the student mobilization committee, and the Panthers used to actually come up, and we would huddle with the Panthers and talk about what stuff that we should do. And that was in the 70s, you know?
Yeah, that's another group. Yeah, the Black Panthers are around. Yeah.
That's how many years ago that, you know, it's taken to even get to the point now where people can actually talk about it and just go, no, you have to recognize racism.
They're trying to, you know, bring that to light, what was happening to us. And
I mean, it's funny. I know people in my personal life, you know, friends or acquaintances who in their day-to-day dealings with people, they're probably not racist. They probably don't treat people that way.
Right.
But in their beliefs, they're totally racist.
Oh, man.
You know, it's like, wait a minute. You act this way towards people, but you think this.
Right.
Come on. You know. And it's like somebody pointed it out to me too. It's like when we have Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you know, and there's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we're honoring people who have breast cancer. Do you get upset because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month and you have prostate cancer? No, you don't say, well, we should say it's prostate cancer month too. It's like, no, I mean, it's the two are not really connected. As somebody who's had prostate cancer, you know, and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I shake my head. I mean, it was like the story I told you on the phone where I got thrown out of a family meeting party years ago. I mean, this is when I was like 18. Because my relatives started talking about those people. And I just asked them, so who are those people you're talking about it? And they just went, well, if you don't like what we're talking about, you can leave. And I told them, if you give me bus fare, I'll leave. They gave me, I think it was 35 cents was bus fare back then.
Since you back in that, Joe.
Took the 35 cents from my aunt, took the bus home.
Get out of here. Going with them.
It's like the people, people, I think it's great because there is accountability. We have our phones where we can actually, I'm not making this up. Look, this happened.
Right. Let me dim this light real quick. I got too much going on. Too much going on here, Joe.
Oh, you can bring the kids in if you want.
Huh?
You can bring the kids in if you want.
No, I didn't want to blind. Oh, that's too bright. Too much light. You turn the other one on. There we go.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I don't want to blind you. I was looking in the thing and like that light.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Block that off. Yeah, that's perfect there.
Thank goodness you're handsome, and you know we got you on. So when you go out, what do you think is going to be the first organized event where you can have a fair amount of people in Chicago?
Funny you should ask that. Leon, the other day, Saturday, put together a aquathon. Swim and run. There's a real nice beach, Joe, right behind the casino. We got the Horseshoe Casino right there in Hammond.
Yeah, Hammond, yeah.
Yeah, it's a real nice beach back there. Leon put together he had about 60 people that came. And they had the mask for them. You all got to wear your mask. Had a little thing to take your temperature, all that stuff like that, all the safety protocols. Space them where, you know, only certain people, what about 7, 8 swimmers in a group or something like that.
Yeah.
And send them, it's a straight shut down, turn, come back. And he's able to send them out on intervals. The runners was running, you know, they send them out When you get out the water, you got your mask, and then they put it together. It's okay. It's pretty good. And
Those
people,
is fun run,
people
yeah.
wanted to do that. Yeah, they wanted to be involved in some kind of event.
Now
So
on the run, did they have aid stations or not?
no, it's a short run, so no aid station on that one.
So do you think you could, well, back in the day, do you think you could have done Ironman if you were basically self-supported?
No.
Oh, come on.
Man, Ironman is rough, man.
Well, what I think is going to happen, and I read the protocols from, what's his name, Andrew. I think, I mean, the run aid stations, self-serve. Nobody's going to hand you anything. Nobody's going to hand you a cup or anything. And they can do the run aid stations using pitchers to fill up bottles and stuff, but don't touch the bottles. And then on the bike aid, the bike is what is kind of, I think they could probably get away if all the volunteers have gloves handing off bike bottles.
But you might have to test all them too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would have a hard time recruiting aid stations right now. I mean, just because, aid stations generally are a group, church group, school group, everybody kind of knows each other.
Right.
But I was talking to Mike DeCarly, and they do that aid station out on one of the aid stations out on Elite Drive. And Mike brought up a subject which I sometimes forget. There's a lot of old people that work at the aid stations.
Yeah.
A lot of people that are in an at-risk group. I mean, they may be older, they may have asthma, they may have other issues. And how do you, with a good conscience, say, hey, come down and help out at an aid station?
Right, yeah.
And you know how important this is.
How you count them out if they don't, you're trying to protect them, but, the event is going on, they want to be there, but you said, nah, we don't want to, jeopardize your health or anything.
I kind of wish they would just say, hey, let's bag it until next October, which I think may actually what happens because, it's going to come back, particularly in October, probably. There's going to be more people sick as more people get out. So I would hope that they would just say, hey, let's start the year over, 2021, brand new year.
Right.
Let's just go with the flow there.
And speaking of that, man, that brings me back to another great memory I had when I was in Hawaii. One year, I was volunteered, and they put me in the truck to drive on the route to drop off stuff. That was the greatest job, man. I was driving, and every time I stopped at one of them aid stations, man, they was glad to see me. And they was cooking all this good food, man. They feed me out so fast. But I was the man when I pulled up there with that truck.
Yeah, especially, were you on the ice delivery or supplies?
Supplies up and down the Queen K.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped at those aid stations, man. Those families out there, that was a big deal. Families were there and they were cooking good food, man. They feed me.
Like you ride motorcycle and stuff, I had a couple of motorcycle groups, clubs doing aid stations, and they were building dioramas, camp out the night before, great barbecue. I mean, it was just like, wow.
Yeah. And when I come there, I got a good friend that came there that I stay with now. He's from Chicago.
Who?
Mike Medina. You know K. Loha, though.
Yeah.
K. Loha's on the board with you guys on the Ironman.
Oh, yeah.
So K. Loha's husband, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Mike is from Chicago. Mike came down there to do the Ironman and he messed around and met K. Loha. She was doing Ironmans and stuff too. And they got hooked up and got married. He stayed.
You know, because I see, because Kayla helps out at my races too, at the path runs
Yeah.
stuff, and I don't think I've, I'm sure I've met her husband, you know, maybe at
He works at the bank. Mike works a lot. He works a
yeah,
lot.
and it's kind of like, oh, I didn't really, we've never talked. I mean, for like more than 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yep.
He's from
Yep.
Chicago too.
Yeah. From right here on the southeast side.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, Mike, you grew up just not too far from me. We met at the pier when I came down there to do Ironman. We just got to talking, and he said he's from Chicago, and we just hooked up just like that. So now, you know, I go to Hawaii. I'm going to stay with Mike and Kayla. Let's get me a ticket. They one red light from the airport.
yeah. Well, and the first race might be actually my race, the path run that we do the week before Ironman, if Ironman happens. We'd have that race, and Kayla helps out at that race. I'm not sure if they're going to try and do that swim that they started to do, where they do a swim the Saturday before Ironman, or Sunday before, or no, Saturday before Ironman. They had to change it last year because they couldn't get peer permits and stuff. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting, challenging year, but I think I agree with you as far as you got to wait and see what's going on.
Yep, and reinvent yourself and be ready for it, because again, some things just not going to come back.
Yeah,
it's going to be a new world.
Yeah,
not only with the racing, but with the whole diversity and all lives matter and everything, and it's going to be all together different.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to keep you up too late. I know we got a big. It's like what, 9 o'clock in your neck of the woods there.
Yeah, 12 after 9. I gotta watch the fake news.
Yeah. So I can't thank you enough for coming on, taking the time, Bernard.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I miss you so much. I miss everybody, but I miss you. You know, just being able to see you and talk story. We've been trying to do a virtual fist bump on the screen here. So yeah, there we go.
Good enough. Yeah.
But thank you so much for your time and everything, and thank you for everything that you've done for the kids in Chicago and that you do to, you know, it seems like you touch a lot of lives, and, you know, you're an example for everybody, I think.
Great, man. See, yeah, this is what keeps me going. Talk like that.
And you're going, we'll get you racing again too. We're going to get you out there on the race course.
All right. Because you know I come to Hawaii at the drop of a hat.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop recording, but I'm not going to go away. So again, mahalo nui loa for you being here and having an opportunity to be able to talk to you. Big mahalo to Bernard for being able to be interviewed today. He's a busy guy, even with the COVID-19 going on, and living in Chicago. So I'm glad we had a chance to talk story with him and say hello again, say aloha again. Great guy, just absolutely, as you can tell by his story and the effects that he's had on so many people across the whole world, really. So hopefully we'll get Bernard on again too. I want to set up maybe a three-way meeting interview with another person that I have in mind too. So again, if you want to help us, you can subscribe to the podcast. You can go to hawaiiultra.com and you'll see him there. You can go to Stitcher. You can go to iTunes. You can write a review. You can email me at joe@hawaiiultra.com. And we'll put links to the charities that Bernard and I talked about. Certainly his charity that he works with the tri clubs and stuff, I think would be an awesome opportunity for people to donate there. So again, thanks to Bernard, and thanks for listening, and aloha.